Sensei Victoria Whitfield, your journey partner in business, and I'd love to welcome you back to episode 48 of the Journeypreneur Podcast. This is your source for channeled holistic stress management techniques, guidance, inspiration, and motivation to stay on your path to rapid financial ascension as a conscious entrepreneur. The title of this podcast episode is Mercury Retrograde. Hello, Mercury Retrograde. This is an astrological phenomena that is an optical illusion that happens in the night sky 3 to 4 times a year. And what it looks like is that from our eyes here, our vantage point here on planet Earth, when you look up in the night sky, it looks like Mercury is going backwards for about 3 weeks. And for those of you who follow, what's your sign? Like for me, I'm a Pisces, for example, is my sun, and my rising is Taurus. For those of you who follow astrology and who keep up with what's my horoscope for the day and so on, whenever we as conscious entrepreneurs see that it is Mercury retrograde, holy cow, do we start shaking in our boots and freaking out. It is so much fun. I have a ball watching all the different videos and reading all the different fearful reports that people have. Don't sign any contracts, don't travel, don't do anything during Mercury retrograde. This one's going to be tough, it's rough, and I'll think, oh my goodness. And I wanted to just take some time to shine a little bit more light and love into Mercury retrograde, because I actually love Mercury retrograde. I love Mercury retrograde so much that if you are signed up for my email newsletter, and I send out daily inspiration for every single Mercury retrograde during the year, I dedicate all of them for the entire 3 weeks, all of those daily emails. All of the inspiration is 100% focused only on Mercury retrograde, because this, for conscious entrepreneurs, is the most profitable time of year. I don't care if it's coming in the middle of the winter or the middle of the summer, the middle of the spring or the middle of the fall. It doesn't matter when it is happening. Every single time Mercury retrograde comes around, it takes your earning potential and raises the roof on it in a quantum way. And if you could understand the true power of Mercury retrograde, you would mark your calendar and be like, oh my God, I can't wait for the next one. And I want to clarify why that's the case, because in most things, if you slap that phrase Mercury retrograde into Google or into YouTube or wherever you're Wikipediaing, wherever you're doing your searching to fact check all the stuff that we're talking about here on the Journeypreneur Podcast, because you should, by the way, more often than not, you're going to start reading about all the things that you shouldn't do and all the things that you should be afraid of. So Mercury is a planet, and I am not an astrologer or whatever. I'm just someone who uses what's going on in nature in my favor. I go with the flow of nature, and so I want to share this little hack that I do every Mercury retrograde that causes me to have a tremendous amount of growth every single time. So what I do, for one, is I make sure that I mark my calendar for when Mercury retrograde is. And what happens is that the story goes that Mercury governs technology, travel, communication, and commerce. 2 T's and 2 C's. Technology, travel, communication, and commerce. So when Mercury appears to be going backwards in the night sky, remember this is an optical illusion, It's not actually going backwards, but from our vantage point, it looks like it is for 3 weeks. Things in these 4 areas of technology, travel, communication, and commerce, they will also appear to be going backwards or going awry or having problems or breaking down. And it's notorious. I cannot even tell you how many, for me as the hub of hundreds and hundreds of businesses worldwide that are conscious businesses, right? Founders and entrepreneurs and business owners, all who are energy conscious people. And I'm the hub of it all. I get stories all the time of, oh my gosh, I own a restaurant, the equipment is going down. Or, oh my goodness, I was trying to go and speak and then the computer completely just shut off. Everything shut off, or the projector shut off. Or here I am, I'm trying to fly out to such and such and we have all these delays. Or there's all this traffic, right? Or I'm trying to talk to my team, but for some reason there's just this gigantic misunderstanding where nobody is really coming to be on the same page together. Or there's issues with finally getting this final payment coming through on this contract, or I'm having a hard time, locating my vendor or getting my client to pay. All the technology, travel, communication, and commerce, there are challenges that come up more so during Mercury Retrograde than any other time of year. And that's according to this philosophy. It's according to the astrological phenomena of Mercury in the night sky appearing to be going backwards. Here's the thing. How you do anything is how you do everything. One of my mentors just say that over and over and over again. How you do anything is how you do everything. And if you look at challenges as a victim, if you look at the things that in your life that are challenging you as a victim, everything that challenges you from that point forward is going to victimize you. You're going to be giving your power and your agency away. And that is something that is disempowering, that puts you in a state of always being the reactor, right? Never being able to root down and consciously respond from a place of power. Instead, you're just putting out fires, putting out fires, putting out fires. That is not a power position. Constantly putting out fires left and right. Instead, my hack that has really, really brought me tremendous growth each time, and it could be even little tweaks that create the domino effect of growth after every single Mercury retrograde is this. I expect the challenges to come, and I am excited for them because they are clarifying exactly where the next growth in my business is going to happen. Right? So, what's an example of that? An example of that for me, I remember during a previous Mercury retrograde, I was doing a Facebook launch where I have to be live on Zoom and dual streaming on Facebook Live at the same time because of whatever I was launching, probably another info course, to my Entrepreneur Master Manifestors group on Facebook. And so I have to be live on both of those platforms because that was the way that we were doing it. And here comes Mercury retrograde and breakdowns in travel, technology, communication, and commerce. So I open it up, try to go live. The device is not working. The internet won't let the stream go through. Trying. Turns out, okay, where's my next growth point? Is having backup and upgrading my devices, right? The stuff that I was using at the time doesn't have enough operating power to support me for where I'm going. And also the Wi-Fi bandwidth that we were working with doesn't have enough bandwidth, right, or enough power, enough capacity to support me for where I'm going. Thanks, Mercury Retrograde, duly noted, so that for the next time, all right, we are backed up and we are supported in the capacity with which that I need in order to grow. Rather than looking at that as a challenge of, oh man, it's Mercury Retrograde, I'm really frustrated, blah, blah, blah. Nope. It's thank you and adjusting accordingly. Because of that, I've been able to catch snags and holes in my business model, my marketing, my team, even my personal relationships and my self-care. These drains, all of these energy drains have come up and out and have been brought into the forefront for me every single time. It's happened 3 to 4 times a year, every single year. It's happening for me so that I can tend to the energy drain rather than cry about it or be afraid of it. Do you catch where we're going with this? This is exactly why Mercury Retrograde is the most profitable time of year. I don't care what industry you are in. Everybody needs to take time out on a regular basis to review, right? To reassess, to recalculate, recalibrate, realign yourself, to do assessments and then reassess, to back up, like have backups of backups. It's a wonderful thing. Every single Mercury retrograde, I get to find out, how can I make this even more ironclad? Where am I wasting my energy? Where am I wasting my energy so that I can target that for the next quarter and make sure that we're now building on an even stronger foundation. Let Mercury retrograde be your standard operating time for review. Let Mercury retrograde be your standard operating time for review of how you do things, how you conduct your business, how you conduct your lifestyle, how you go about marketing, how you go about communicating yourself, how you go about positioning yourself, right? How you go about your travel. All right, so, okay, we're going to fly out during Mercury retrograde, or we're going to do a long haul drive. Am I going to do things the old way where I'm like rushing and leaving at the last minute and I don't have a checklist or anything like that? Or am I going to make sure that I have ample time so that I feel like I'm open and flowing and I can move through the airport no problem? And am I going to have a checklist where I know exactly I have everything that I need because here's the checklist, or for when my assistant needs to pack it, I know that we have everything that we need because we were able to look at the checklist together and go through it. There's nothing worse than not having the checklist, right? Because then we have the experience of feeling super disorganized and caught off guard for something as simple as that could have totally turned the situation around. So Mercury retrograde is the most profitable time of year because it shines a light on all of the most current energy drains on your life and business. And the more that you can sit up and take notice and take action accordingly, the better your lifestyle in life, personally as well as professionally, will become. But that's a conscious choice that you got to make to embrace the power of Mercury retrograde for shining light on that, instead of going with the dominant perspective of don't do anything, don't go anywhere, don't talk to anybody, watch out, like having this fear-based relationship with Mercury retrograde. Now, in time, I would encourage you to absolutely love it. It's the deep cleaning so that you have room to receive your next level manifestation, right? We got to get out with the old so that we can bring in the new. And that is the true magic of Mercury retrograde. Now, if this is something that speaks to you, you want support in making the most of your next Mercury retrograde, or you want to know when the next one is, I have a chart that goes out for maybe about 20 years of when the next Mercury retrogrades are, because we as a company, we mark out all of our calendars so that we're prepared ahead of time. Come on over to naturalintuition.com and click on the contact button, jump on my calendar, and let's get you set up for an assessment so that we can support you through making the most of your next Mercury retrograde, and so that, in fact, you can rock your retrograde in your conscious business. All right, so that's it for today's episode. I'm sending you so much love, mwah, big hugs, and please remember to enjoy your journey. Enjoy the journey to rapid financial ascension. Enjoy the journey to creating massive impact as a conscious entrepreneur. Don't just work hard and grind all day. Don't lose your glow, right? That sparkle in your eyes as you grow in life and business. We need you shining bright so that you can light the way forward for all of those who come behind you in this lifetime. So, mwah, big hugs, and I will see you in the next podcast episode. Bye for now.